Hello and good afternoon, and welcome to Chicagoland Speedway to start the first race of 2025, as well as our 14th race of the third season of the DRL Red Bull GT Series. Should be a fun race here today from the Chicagoland Speedway in Joliet, Illinois. Isaac Willis is on the pole position in the 07. He is making his third start of the year. He is 44th in the points. Of course, that's because he came in late to replace the now banned Jared Underhill. Tatiana Noguera is the points leader. She starts on the front row. Addison Peterson jumped 4 spots up to 14th in the standings, and Summit Ozkan in the 06. He jumped up 3 spots to 19th in the points table. Let's look at the rest of the starting grid, see where your points contenders are starting. Let's go over the points presented by Golden Corral. Tatiana Noguera, when we left off this series back last year and last time out, she's the points leader by 27 points over W Parrish, 29 over T Mauser. Let's get these cars rolling off, by the way. Elena Aurora is fourth in the standings, 32 back. She's also the rookie points leader. Kyler Anderson is fifth. J Ard dropped 4 spots down to sixth in the standings. Courtney Lynn is gained 3 spots up to seventh. Chaz Farmer, 41 points back in eighth. Skylar Taylor dropped 4 spots down to ninth in the points. And Annie Crenshaw, 48 points back of the points lead in the 10th position, gained 4 spots after a good run at Milwaukee. This is by far, I believe, our longest race as far as a mile and a half is concerned, or any of the oval tracks, because of the fact that I have enough space to record these races, which is going to be fun. 81 laps to be exact. Also, the AI got lowered down, so that way there's not going to be a crap load of wrecking on and off, if you know what I mean. Green flag is in the air. We're underway here at Chicagoland. This is K Langeland's home race. Of course, he's not too far away. He's like in the western part of Illinois, but the track we're in is just south of Chicago. As Isaac Willis leads us into turn number 3. He will lead the first lap of today's race. Going to be a fun 81 laps of racing. Hopefully, we'll see some long green flag runs during the course of this race. All 40 cars did take the start. Isaac Willis, his goal is just to try to make the most of this opportunity and just try to find as many trips to victory lane as possible. Of course, he's not eligible to win the championship. He's just out here just trying to get as many wins to victory lane as possibly can. Battle for second between the two ladies right here, Addison Peterson and Tatiana Noguera. Tatiana Noguera, the points leader. Addison Peterson, the defending series champion in that number 66 Rain-X Dodge Viper, as they're both catching up to Isaac Willis, trying to possibly take the lead. Of course, it is cloudy here at Joliet. The track is going to have a lot of grip. These cars are going to have a lot of speed. And looks like Addie was trying to get underneath Isaac Willis, but the car looked like she got a little loose on her, so Isaac will still lead that lap. Just as when she was going to put down the power, the back of the car decided to step around. Unfortunately, she's now under contest for second. The more those two ladies continue to go side by side, the more Isaac Willis is going to start pulling away from the two girls. We raced here last season in the Red Bull GT series, and the defending winner of this event is not in the field. That would be Reggie Fogelman. The car that did win here at Chicagoland is in the field. That would be driven by Dylan Van Dyke, trying to go back to back as far as rookies winning in the 99 machine. As Addison Peterson finally gets around Isaac Willis. Of course, Isaac Willis still leads as far as the rookie race is concerned. There's Andrew Williams. There's Samad Ozkan in the 06. Of course, this race was race number 22, so it was towards the end of the season. This one is at race 14. As Isaac Willis trying to get the lead back from Addison Peterson. And he's not going to put up a fight, or she will put up a fight, rather, I should say. This is being race number 14. Next week we head to we head to the home track of our NNSCRA president, Seth Cole, Watkins Glen International Raceway, for some road course racing up in upstate New York. That should be a lot of fun. 1 o'clock Eastern Standard Time next Monday. Hope you'll join us for that. And you can technically say these final 10 races that's coming out here in 2025, these are called, you can technically call it the chase for the championship, technically. Then the following week, we go to Pocono. We have Charlotte. That'll be another night race. Looking forward to that. Miami coming up. That'll be Homestead Miami Speedway, Papyrus, Daytona, Loudon, Rockingham, and our season finale at Phoenix. Looking forward to the races we got coming up on the channel. Hope you'll join us for those, as we will crown the third season of the DRL Red Bull GT Series. Of course, tomorrow the Oreo Cup Series come back from their the winter break. Whatever track we're going to, hope you'll join us for that tomorrow, whether it's a day or a night track. And of course, we cap off this race weekend. Of course, we have the Oreo Cup race tomorrow. We have the championship, technically championship factor that will be decided in the Diva Series. After that Diva season is done, as far as that series is concerned, it's been a fun championship. Of course, we've had Diva action the last couple of weeks during the winter break for the GT Series and the Oreo Cup Series. Oreo's, I believe, on race number 6, if I recall. Yeah, race number 6. Because they already had Daytona, they had Las Vegas, Atlanta, Richmond, and Phoenix. Because Phoenix was the last race for them. I do not know where we're going for race number 6 tomorrow. If I were to wager a guess where we're going for race number 6, it's T Noguera, who already got around A Peterson, trying to take the lead from Isaac Willis. Of course, that has brought Andrew Williams into the conversation. Or no, that's Anthony Finelli, sorry. Anthony Finelli and S Ozkan have now been brought into the mix. There's 2 Corvettes. Who's the highest of the Jaguars? Chas Farmer is 6th. Andrew Williams 7th. There's Courtney Lynn. She is the highest of the Jaguars, running in 8th. 9th is Luis Hernandez. Thank you, Pace Card. You made me mess up. And T Mauser completes the top 10. I was trying to get to 9th place until I decided to say hello, Pace Card, and I did it again. This is going to be a really critical. These 10 races here are going to be very, very vital. J Ard. Let's see what's happening so far in the running order. J Ard's running in 30th. Let's see, Jesse Art's running in 33rd, but the race is still young. There's been a lot of questions of what was going to happen to Maddie Crenshaw, what was going to happen to Courtney Lynn. Well, I can tell you, none of them are going to get replaced from this series going forward. They'll end up being under Ricky Cervantes' ownership, as T Noguera is going to take the race lead. So as far as their future is concerned in this series, it's not going to affect them because, like I said, Ricky Cervantes will take great care of those guys and gals that used to be a part of Indiana Motorsports. Finelli will now go to second, and Willis is in danger of dropping a couple of spots down to outside the top 5. A Peterson's way up the racetrack as she had her right side tires up in the gray area, and T Noguera is going to take the race lead. And as soon as I say that, here comes Anthony Finelli. I'm not sure what T Noguera's plans will be for next season. Whether or not she will be back in the GT series, we will have to wait and see. Would be a real shame if we do not see T Noguera back in this ride. Of course, she has never won in the GT series, whereas T Mauser has. This battle for second's getting interesting with Isaac Willis, Anthony Finelli. Anthony Finelli and S Ozkan have run the entire season, and Isaac Willis is like in his 3rd start of the year. As they're getting a little close there, Finelli and Willis, and Ozkan just took second, and Willis just had a little moment, got his car tight. A Peterson went around him on the outside. So all of a sudden, he went from leading to about to be outside the top 5. But his car's not handling good. S Ozkan comes into this race, as I said, 19th in the points. Let's see, where is Anthony Finelli? 32nd. He could use a good run. He's been having a poor season. As Andrew Williams is now going to crack the top 5, going to be in the 4th position. Or no, 5th position, I'm sorry. Because I forgot Addie's in 4th. Andrew Williams comes in this race 20th in points. Of course, he is ahead of his brother Logan, the DRL president. Courtney Lynn trying to get around Luis Hernandez as they're about to catch Isaac Willis. Looks like Isaac went from leading to now in 6th, so he's dropped a good handful of positions. Sebastian Palmer complete the top 10, battling with T Mauser for that position. Mauser had it, Palmer got it. That's Josh Harmon in the 9, and there's Ricky Cervantes, speaking of Cervantes. And there's the rookie points leader, Elena Aurora, running in the 14th position. Elena Aurora, 4th in the points. Has a nice little healthy lead, 20 points in hand over Carlos Rodriguez, the guy who's trying to run her down for the rookie points lead. So Elena Aurora just taking good care of her Corvette. And she was the same way in the GTS Array days, as we're back up to Tatiana Noguera. She was like that in the GTS Array days, Aurora, that is, taking care of her equipment. Of course, she was driving for DVR at the time. And of course, she graduated up from GTS Array, now into the DVR family. As Tatiana Noguera leads lap number 29, moves on to lap 30 of this race. Still got a long way to go here, folks. There's Maddie Crenshaw in the 36. Was announced by her sister, Annie Crenshaw. Kind of weird when normally the driver that wants to make the announcement, but surprising a family member is doing this. But Annie Crenshaw announced that Maddie will be back in the GT Series next season, along with herself. So the Crenshaw sisters staying intact. There's Ingrid Pollard, former champion of the Amateur Series. 26th in points, dropped 7 spots after Milwaukee last time out. Ingrid Pollard, another driver, also announced that she will be back in the GT Series next season, driving that same car, that 45. There's Jared Johnson in the 8. Not sure what he's doing next season. That's Geecha Racing in his 3rd start in the 38. Replacing the now banned Blake Wagner for the rest of the season. Dylan Van Dyke in the 99. That car went to victory lane 1 season ago. Henrietta Fitzwater passing Bradley Reim. Henrietta Fitzwater, we know, will be back in this series next season, that 59. Same with Zachary Fitzwater, who's in the 43. And their second in points, Will Parrish. And the gal that he was trying to run down for the points lead is actually leading, Tatiana Noguera. So as of now, Tatiana Noguera looks like if she ends up winning this race, she will keep the points lead, because the guy that was trying to run her down for the points lead, running in 33rd, there's Summer Wagner. Summer Wagner will be leaving the GT Series at the end of this season. She is going to finish out this season, and then she will be gone after that. Jackson Harrison, not the season he would have liked. There's J Ard, who's been having a bit of a free fall. In front of her, Cody Smart, last year's LTR NASCAR champion for Triple P, which, by the way, has moved over to Spotify this year. Sean Art. Here's a funny concept. Sean Art, Cody Smart, J Ard. Hey, that's 3 panelists right there, right together in 28th, 29th, and 30th. Not the runs those two were hoping for. There's rookie Nathan Murphy running in the 27th position. Ari Springer will be back in that 6th next year. Same with Carlos Rodriguez. Kyle Langeland will be back in that 27 next year. There's rookie Trinity Lee in car number 23, running P23. Trinity Lee dropped down to 31st in points, so it's been a really struggling season for her. But again, it's her rookie year. There's Cervantes. Speaking of Annie Crenshaw, she's right behind Logan Williams. having a solid run. That's Brooke Packett going underneath Logan Williams, the DRL president, former winner of the season. Kasumi Takashi in the 5. Kyler Anderson getting around Elena Aurora, by the way, is the rookie points leader. Kaiser right behind Fitzwater, Zachary Fitzwater. There's Skylar Taylor. Had a poor finish at Milwaukee, our last race, when we last left our intrepid heroes in this series. Yes, I did kind of steal it from the runaway guys, but you get the picture. And meanwhile, back up front in the wonderful position of first place, T Noguera just keep continuing to truck away. We have learned so much about Tatiana Noguera over these years that we've had her on the channel. Currently on lap number 40. Didn't know what the hell was going on in another server I was looking at as I'm recording this race. We'll be at the halfway point of today's race. Of course, not only this is the first race of 2025, this is also the first race, or this is also the year we say goodbye to the PCSRA. Because if you've been subscribed to this channel and you don't know the announcement, this year for 2025 is my last year as a PCSRA president. PCSRA will be closing their doors at the end of the season because if you are aware of the situation, the WRA will be taking over the channel once the 2025 season of PCSRA Craftsman Trucks, Busch, and Winston Cup Series comes to an end. Of course, the upcoming seasons for Trucks, Busch, and Cup for PCSRA is going to be my final season running three series and season related series because now my attention will be focusing on the DRL Red Bull GT series and the WRA, which I'm really looking forward to continue to call races and all that. So, I just want to say thank you to the PCSRA for the last now 15 years and counting. We're going to have our championship weekend and at the season where we had our final AutoZone Amateur Series, Coca-Cola Truck Series, Buffalo Wild Wings, and Monster Energy Series. That'll be at the lovely Toronto Speedway. Of course, that is the track where Jacob Tutu won his only Monster Energy Series championship to date. That's Courtney Lynn. There she is. She will also be she will be in the Winston Cup Series along with a number of other drivers. In fact, she's also going to be a part of the of another series that I'm going to be starting very soon. Starting, I believe we're going to start it on. I haven't made a decision. I think it'll be starting on Monday after this series concludes its final 10 races. And that series will be the K&N All-American Series, which I'm really looking forward to that. They're going to run the 2011 point system, which I'm going to do both chase and non-chase, so that way we can do a comparison of the two. That will be a lot of fun. Looking forward to doing that series again. Tatiana Noguera, currently the race leader. There's Anthony Finelli. Samad Ozkan holding off Courtney Lynn for third. There's Chaz Farmer and A Peterson and Andrew Williams. I bet if you're Courtney Lynn, you're disappointed for a couple of reasons. And the couple of reasons is, one, she felt like she got stabbed in the back when Zachary Taylor announced that they would be released. Because remember, Courtney Lynn was part of Nathan Orman jumped over the Taylor team, and then she got released. Now, here's the rule as far as that that most of you need to know. Because of the fact that I've already recorded all the races for Trucks, Busch, and Cub, and I've already told this to Taylor before he left, is that he cannot replace Courtney Lynn, or Courtney Lynn cannot be released until after the season for Craftsman Trucks, Busch, and Winston Cup, because according to rules, that is his driver until until this year concludes. And the same deal goes to Maddie Crenshaw's. We're back up with Tatiana Noguera. Nothing has happened to the Queen of Captain Frank. I believe she's the only, well, besides Emma Kaiser and Alexandria Sarnes. Speaking of Sarnes, she will be making her debut in this series next season. That was confirmed today, by the way. So Captain Frank's going to have another female driver besides Tatiana Noguera. And of course, Tatiana wants to get her plans taken care of, knowing her. Right now, she's the only female driver from Captain Frank's team in this, well, one of two, I believe. I know Mauser will be back next season. I know Bradley Reim's drivers, I know, will be back next season. Bradley Reim, I know, will be in the 21, because knowing when I do the signups for this series for Season 4, I already know Bradley Reim wants the 21. I already knew that. Because Bradley Reim likes that Harley-Davidson car, and of course he's been running that car, I believe, every season, if I'm not mistaken. There's Finelli, Courtney Lynn. Courtney Lynn will be back in this 12 car next year. Kyle Langeland's coming to pit road. Looks like an unscheduled pit stop for that 27. It's like Summer Wagner and Addison Peterson also lapped down. I'm starting to wonder if we're having green flag pit stops. Because that would be the only explanation why those cars that are pitting are lapped down. And yes, I am correct. And Tatiana Noguera is coming in, so is Courtney Lynn. So this must be a pit stop. I kind of figured because they're running 81 laps, they cannot make it on fuel. So if they pit now, they'll make it the rest of the way. So these pit stops are going to shake up the running order, believe it or not. As Courtney Lynn's going to try to get into her pit box. So this is green flag pit stops. Got to be careful not to make any mistake as far as there's K Langeland and A Peterson. Of course, they were on pit road. So it looks like they kicked off the green flag pit stops for this group. It's been a while since we've had green flag pit stops. Don't think I was expecting green flag pit stops, but hey, we'll take it. Question is, I wonder how much ground that A Peterson's going to gain, as there's T Noguera just leaving the pits, and there's A Peterson. She's already going to be in second, so she made up a lot of time during those pit stops. So that really benefited the 66. The thing is, she's on warmer tires. T Noguera is still trying to get up to speed. Noguera will have the lead. Luis Hernandez, K Langeland pitting early was definitely beneficial for those drivers. Courtney Lynn's now in 6, but remember, she's on fresher tires than A Peterson, Luis Hernandez, and K Langeland, because remember, they pitted a couple laps earlier before the leaders did, so that answered my question. Do these drivers need to make a pit stop before this race is over? Because remember, they could not make it 81 laps on a tank of fuel, and they came to pit road around in the mid-50s, so they are good to go the rest of the distance. So pretty good job for, as looks like the 66 is coming back to pit road. Wonder if she got busted for speeding. That's going to cost Addison Peterson. So forget what I said. This was a costly. And Brooke Packett's on pit road. So something must have happened to Brooke Packett in the 60. So it looks like Addie might have picked up a puncture. That's a tough break for her. And caution's out. Oh, this could change the complexion of the race. Caution is out, which I think is bad news for Addison Peterson because this will trap her a lap down as a result. Trying to see what caused this caution. Do not know who the caution might have been. Andrew Williams, because he's on pit road. So caution's out for the first time today after a nice green flag run. Let's jump back and look at a replay to find out, first of all, what happened to Brooke Packett, and then take a look at what happened to the 15 as we're with less than 20 to go here at Chicagoland. This might explain why Brooke Packett was still on pit road. Watch Josh Harmon right here. As he's getting ready to enter his pit stall, Brooke Packett's finishing, the crew's finishing putting fuel in the car. And right there, knocked Brooke Packett sideways, and it just killed the car, and she had to teleport to pit road. So that would explain why Brooke Packett was still sitting on pit road, was because the 9 of Harmon was trying to come in and just mistimed it. So that is a tough break for Brooke Packett. Was running 19th at the time, going to cost her a lot of position. So that's what happened to her. Now let's see what caused the first caution of this race. Well, apparently we had a debris caution, but we had something bizarre that just happened under this yellow, which you can technically call this caution. As Brooke Packett, I don't know what Brooke was doing. Looked like she was trying to catch up to get around the pace car and just rammed in the back of Anthony Finelli. And there's where the 5 of Takashi gets a piece of it. Nowhere for Skylar Taylor to go. That's a tough break. Was running 14th at the time of this incident. Excuse me. And Skylar Taylor, a couple of races ago, was the points leader. Dropped all the way down to 9th. She's going to continue to drop through the points. I know Brooke Packett made a second pit stop and was trying to get caught back up, but just went a little too quickly and just rammed in the back of Anthony Finelli. So that's what happened under the caution, since the yellow is out for debris. Let's get back to the race start here at Chicagoland. Get ready to go back to green on lap number 66 of 81. Brooke Packett is out of the race, so is Skylar Taylor and Anthony Finelli. And Brooke Packett's been asked to see the DRL officials after the race, after that bizarre incident. Tough break for Brooke Packett. Was running in the top 15 before that cycle of pit stops, and then the incident happened. So tough break for her. We are also told the 15 of Andrew Williams had a mechanical problem, came down pit road, costed him 5 laps doing so, trying to get that machine repaired, as Kyle Langeland pitted. By the way, A Peterson, just before that caution came out, had a long extended stay on pit road, so not entirely sure why she came to pit road or if she had a tire going down. That's a tough break for the defending series champion. And just like that, this race turned upside down on its head. Finelli 32nd in points. This is not the points he was hoping for. He is next to last in points of the drivers that have run every race this season. Because remember, A Crenshaw missed the season opener, but is still running well or not doing well in points, I should say. Skylar Taylor was 9th in points, not the run she was hoping for. And the other driver out of the race, and Brooke Packett, was 25th in the points. So Brooke Packett really not doing herself any favors, as we believe Andrew Williams is still on pit road. So looks like his day is going to be done. So that's a tough break for Andrew Williams. And it looks like the problem is terminal, so he's already climbed out of the car. So that's a tough break for Andrew Williams, who's going to finish 39th as a result, 20th in the points. This is really going to kill him in the standings. So a lot of drivers who came in running well in points, like Skylar Taylor and Andrew Williams, this was not the runs those drivers were hoping for. So we're going to have another shakeup of the top 10 of the points. As we're coming to 10 laps of racing to go, as the hometown man, Kyle Langeland, the teal hedgehog, I like to call him in the PCS Race President's Chat. How would it be for Kyle Langeland to get a home win? Of course, he was not at the front of the field during the early stages of this race until that cycle of pit stops happened that really shook up the running order. Kyle Langeland dropped 3 spots down to 18th in the points. And we talked about Kyle Langeland. This is his home race, and all of a sudden he's leading his home race just like that. So he ran 62 laps caution free with a pit stop. Then had a caution for debris, which that was definitely not, that really trapped Addison Peterson a lap down. So coming to pit road and then getting trapped a lap down, came back to haunt the 66. And then that bizarre incident with Anthony Finelli, because Brooke Packett came out of the pits and shoulda, coulda slowed down, but not entirely sure why she did not slow down. And unfortunately, hate that for both Finelli and Skylar Taylor, who were running well in points. In particular, Skylar Taylor, who came in top 10 in the points. So don't think Skylar Taylor is going to be happy. Of course, Brooke Packett's going to be asked to meet the DRL officials once she is released from the infield care center. So Andrew Williams' day is done, so he will finish 39th. We're down to 35 drivers on the lead lap. Maddie Crenshaw, the last of them. As soon as I say that, Summer Wagner's 35th. So her bad luck ever since her brother got replaced, she's been free falling through the points like crazy. And then Addison Peterson, the last car running, and the only car one lap down. And he's definitely going to be kicking herself for coming to pit road, and then that caution was untimely enough, and it trapped her a lap down as a result. So she's definitely going to be kicking herself for that one. But that was a nice green flag run. That's actually the longest green flag run we've had all season, believe it or not. And this is probably going to be our longest race of the year. This video, that is, for Chicago, because this is actually our longest race distance we've ran at period for a 1.5 mile track. And while this race is ticking down, let's remind everyone this copyrighted broadcast is presented by the authority of the Blue Hedgehog TV and the DRL Red Bull GT Series. Any use of this broadcast or any reproduction, rebroadcast, or any use of this broadcast, rather, without the express written consent of the PCSRA, the Blue Hedgehog TV, and the DRL Red Bull GT Series is strictly prohibited. PCSRA and DRL fans want to thank you guys for your continued support on the channel, and we hope you enjoyed today's broadcast here at Chicagoland. And it looks like it's about to be a hometown win for K Langeland. That would be cool for Mr. Teal to go to victory lane. I want to check to see if Kyle has won a race last season from the Red Bull GT Series from last season before I forget. Because I do not think he has, as we're down to 2 laps to go. K Langeland last season, 7th in points. So yeah, he did win in his rookie year. So this would be his second career Red Bull GT Series win and first of season 3, as the white flag is displayed on K Langeland. 1 more lap to go, sponsored by Credit One Bank. K Langeland was not at the front for most of this race. That caution came out, that the one that T Noguera did not want to see, played in his factor. He played good pit strategy, and this will get him his second career Red Bull GT Series win. But more importantly, he does it at his home track. K Langeland's going to win at Chicagoland, and the hometown fans are going berserk. K Langeland wanted to give his hometown fans a present, which is a win, and he delivered. And this will help K Langeland through the points. As like I said, came in this race 18th in the points. He's definitely going to be inside the top 15 in points, maybe the top 10. Tatiana Noguera will have to settle for second. She was the dominant car of this race. But that late race yellow came back to haunt her, and she'll have to settle for second, but still a good point stand. She came in this race as the points leader. She no doubtably will keep the points lead because the guy that was trying to run her down for the points lead, W Parrish, 26, came in this race second in the points. Chance Farmer came home in third. Luis Hernandez will take Rookie of the Race honors in fourth. Kyler Anderson, fifth. Isaac Willis, our pole sitter, stayed inside the top 10 for most of this race, came home with a solid 6. Carlos Rodriguez came home in second. That's, by the way, second in the Rookie of the Year standings. Good run for Carlos Rodriguez. The gal, he was trying to run down for the rookie points lead. We're gonna have to see where K Aurora, she actually finished 12. So it looks like Aurora will also keep the rookie points lead heading into next week. Josh Harmon came home in 8th. Of course, he got involved in that pit lane collision with Brooke Packett that caused the 60 car to have a complete meltdown after the cycle of pit stops. Sebastian Palmer came home in 9th, and T Mauser will come away with a top 10. Of course, I believe both of Captain Frank's drivers had a quiet finished inside the top 10, Noguera and Mauser. So good job to those two drivers. Henrietta Fitzwater, 11th. Lena Aurora, as I mentioned, the rookie points leader in 12th. Courtney Lynn, Ricky Cervantes, and Emma Kaiser, top 15. Actually, Captain Frank's drivers finished all inside the top 15. Good job to them. Top 20 was completed by rookie Ari Springer. Quiet run, one of her better results of the season. Annie Crenshaw, Dylan Van Dyke, Tatsumi Takashi, and Cody Smart, the top 20. As you look on down for the remainder of the finishing results, I mentioned W Parrish, 26, came in this race second in points, so this will be a big blow for him. And all these drivers, Maddie Crenshaw was the last driver on the lead lap. Summer Wagner's bad luck continues, 34th for her. Sean came on 32nd, Jesse 29th. Addison Peterson was the only driver that finished the lap down, so coming to pit road towards the end of that, or coming in the closing stages, really came back to haunt her. Plus, that caution didn't make the situation any better for the defending series champ, so she'll take a big hit in the standings, but she did finish, as we had 36 finish the race, 35 on the lead lap. And then 4 drivers did not see the conclusion of the race: Anthony Finelli, Skylar Taylor, Brooke Packett, due to the fact those 3 were involved in an incident under the first and only caution of the day. And Andrew Williams had mechanical problems, finished 22 laps down. He never even got back out to finish the rest of this race. So the points are really, really going to be shaken up after this race. But Tatiana Noguera, despite finishing second, will still be your points leader heading into next week for the GT Series. Next week, we are heading to, if I can go back to the DRL server, we are heading to Watkins Glen International Raceway. It'll be a 1 o'clock Eastern Standard Time race next week. Hope you'll join us for that race up in upstate New York. If you guys enjoyed today's race from Chicagoland, congratulations to K Langeland on the win, by the way. Be sure to give this video a like, subscribe to become part of the PCS Array and the Blue Hedgehog crew today. We showed your full finish results. Your point standings will be down in the description heading into next week at Watkins Glen. Be sure to join the DRL Discord. The link will also be down in the description as well. Thank you guys so much for joining me. I've been Davo signing off. Goodbye from Chicagoland. Thank you for watching another broadcast of the DRL Red Bull GT Series on the PCS Array Sports and Gaming channel as we celebrate 15 incredible years. And thank you for celebrating 15 years as the best center racing around the world since 2017. See you next week from Watkins Glen.